We are live. Welcome to my spoiler-free review of the 1999 video game Tiberian Sun Firestorm. So let's see. I believe the game is rated mature. This video might be mature. And yeah, another one in this franchise that I absolutely love. I don't know if I'm going to have that much to say about this one in particular, and not because there's not a lot of wonderful things. I said several of the things that I most care about this expansion pack to the original Tiberian Sun in my review for Tiberian Sun. Let's see. Did I mention in that one? I think Tiberian Sun might actually be the only... So let's see. I haven't played... What is it? The last two, including, and their expansion packs of the games in the Tiberian Sun, Alert, this overall franchise. The Westwood and then EA real-time strategy games in this franchise. But of all the ones I've played, I believe from what I recall, Tiberian Sun is the only one where you can actually see in cutscenes and such, you can see the character you're playing as. Like, it's filmed more like an actual movie, whereas the rest of these, the FMVs, and yeah, I guess sometimes it's not FMV, but cutscenes, the characters will talk directly to the camera, like that in briefings and debriefings and such. Anyway, I think, not everybody who showed up for Tiberian Sun returned for this one. Some of the biggest names are not back. And yeah, it can feel slightly awkward that now it's back to them talking to the camera. The plot I enjoyed. The AI Cabal has a bit of a Skynet thing going on, which I quite appreciated. They did have Michael Biehn in the main Tiberian Sun. Let's see. We have... So I think I already talked about how they, in this one, they nerf the Nod unit that can fire really, really far. And then they also introduce a GDI unit that has the same, and is now slightly more effective. I do appreciate, like, the Nod one fires one, shot at a time. The GDI one fires several, and sometimes, if there are a bunch of units grouped close enough together, the GDI one is able to hit multiple, whereas the Nod one would only hit, one. I did feel like it didn't feel that much like a GDI thing. Like, you can just look at the fact that GDI has the ion cannon as their super weapon, and then this defensive thing called the Firestorm. Network? Is that what it's called? Something along those lines. Right, I forget if I mentioned, this is from memory. I haven't played this in some years now. But the... let's see. Whereas Nod has the multi-missile and such as super weapon. But I guess that does segue very nicely into... I don't think I talked about, but in addition to the multi-missile, the... what's the word? I forget what it's called. Is it just Tiberium missile, maybe? But yeah, Nod, and I honestly do not remember if that appeared in Firestorm, or or if it was also in Tiberian Sun, but certainly by Tiberian Sun, there is this, you could build a new building, and it'll produce a new sort of harvester, and that harvester will go into these, like, really, unpleasant looking, harsh, this like field where it essentially looks like the ground is like on fire or partly lava or something. And yeah, if you run infantry across it, you know, they will die within moments, you know. And actually, it does also do significant damage and ends up destroying ground vehicles and such, other than the Tiberian Harvester. Yeah, the Harvester for the... Anyway, but yeah, once it's harvested enough material, you can fire off the missile. And if I recall, you could even, like, if you build 2 of these buildings and fill both of them up, you can have 2 of these missiles immediately after each other. Almost immediately. And it doesn't have the same kind, and I don't think you could do more than 2, but it doesn't have the same kind of, there's a timer cooldown thing on the multi-missile, no matter how many, you know, you can't really make that one instantaneous like that. But yeah, the missile, you know, in addition to doing like explosive damage, it also leaves this cloud of this Tiberian thingy, you know, which mutates infantry it touches pretty quickly into the... Yeah, and the mutations, once again, destroy anything it comes near. Certainly that is like GDR or not, or that sort of thing. And the cloud will also destroy buildings, you know, very, very quickly. So, yeah, that one can be incredibly devastating, can really finish a match pretty quickly. A well-placed chemical missile. Let's see. I think... Right, if I recall, Cabal is the... you know, that's the thing that, you know, when you play as Nod, and you have that really badass voice, you know, construction complete. That's Cabal. You know, Cabal is... You give Cabal orders, and he carries them out for you. It's not a person taking orders and then, you know, giving... You know, there's no middle management here. But, yeah. Cabal is the... Yeah. The Terminator franchise clearly does not exist in a number of these, you know, yeah, kind of too messed up to be real, kind of, you know, obviously fictitious stories, you know, lest they would not... Yeah, that's how they're always playing with this stuff, and we end up with the actual Terminator, you know. It's, yeah, it's true of Tiberian Sun. It happened in the MCU. And right now it's getting disturbingly close to happening, I mean, somewhere down the line in reality.